what is going on? Hopefully, everybody is doing great. Forza, Forza Milan, only two words matter. Guys, welcome to Milan News. Wherever you are around the world, whether it's during the morning, during the afternoon, or during night, only two words matter. Antonio's here with me. What's up, Antonio? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, Roy. I love watching Milan play and watching Milan win. So, I was really missing this, and I'm feeling great about the first game. So, very
Nice,
excited.
nice. Yeah. You saw. What did you think of the game, Antonio? I haven't asked you yet because we haven't spoken since. I mean, we did have a live together, but I haven't asked you about the game. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought the first half was really sloppy. Obviously, the two goals we conceded, we must do better. We usually don't concede those easy goals, especially the corner kick, and then the defending on that header was poor. So we have to improve. And we were a little bit, we lacked some sharpness in some plays. But in terms of our fluidity and our attacks, we look really good. We're pressing very well, and we scored 4 goals. So maybe this year we'll have the best attack in the league. It'll be nice if we can go from the best defense to the best offense. So we'll see if we have a good attacking year. But so far, we scored the most goals out of any team in the first match week. So
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. For sure. Look, I tell you this. I was watching the game during work. I was working and I kind of had it in the background, in and out. I wasn't able to really like watching it that way. It looked like it was kind of a poor, sloppy game. But then I watched it at night later on, and I watched it in detail. And I gotta say, Milan was freaking amazing. Like they played incredible. The tactical interchanges and the way the team was changing its formation from the four at the back, three at the back, two at the back. It's all this improvised, continuous changing of formation as they move forward. Theo would become a double pivot. Kronic would become an attacking midfielder, and Calabria always paying attention to what Theo Hernandez was doing. So Theo Hernandez is pretty much the one that decides whether it's going to be three at the back, whether two at the back, and so forth. Incredible stuff. We lost Antonio. We lost Antonio, guys. But I was very. You're
Something
back.
that I'm
But I
doing.
was very impressed from a tactical standpoint, and the team looked really good. We just need a few of those elements in the team to fire on full cylinders. What did you think of Leao?
Yeah, Leao was one of the players who I think him and Messias weren't in their best shape in terms of like their form and performance. He Leao was he tried to be dangerous at times. He was getting doubled, I think, well by Udinese. I think Udinese kind of were prioritizing stopping that left wing, which because you saw a lot of like the two center backs and also midfielders kind of crowding that area. So he didn't really have much space. So I think it's fine. I mean, Theo didn't do much in the attacking phase as well, besides the penalty that he scored. And I mean, he had a couple of crosses, so he definitely got his space. But Leao was kind of with Theo a little bit cramped in that area with Udinese. So I think it's understandable, and I think he'll bounce back, especially in a more open game. So yeah, I think he'll be better, but it wasn't his best game.
Yeah, no, look, for sure, it's just the beginning of the season, so, you got to wait for these guys to hit full force. Even the guys that already looked good are still not yet firing at full cylinders, so the team still has a lot to improve, which says a lot, because the team started off really strong. The fact that they just started and they still have a lot to get to before they get to full match fitness, full rhythm. I mean, is this team just going to kick ass the whole all the way through? I wonder. We do have a big game coming up against Atalanta away. Atalanta always a difficult opponent, and we're going to be analyzing that. Guys, by the way, Antonio, we have a new show coming up. And it's going to be every day after the Serie A. So it could be on a Monday or it could be a Tuesday. And it's called the Serie A Review, where we're going to go over all the games of the Serie A and talk about the Serie A. And are you looking forward to that? That should be fun, eh?
Yes, and I will save my thoughts about the other teams for that show tomorrow because I've been watching pretty much all the games, and it looks very interesting. Interesting stuff. And also, I want to incorporate some fantasy into that. So maybe we could just look at the leading teams in our RossonARI fantasy league. If based on all the viewers and see which players were the best. I have a couple good players. If I do say so myself. Not I don't know how good my team is. I have a couple players that are flopping, but some good players overall. So I'm excited to see who's winning by the end of today. Because today, actually, in less than half an hour, we have Napoli against Verona, and then after that, Juventus against Sassuolo. So interesting games.
Yes, yes. Fantasy, man. I thought I picked good players, man. Like how my score is so low, I don't get it. But yeah, that's a good idea. We'll look into the fantasy stuff, and we will do that. We'll go through that. But today I have Vicha Varashkilia on the team, and I have Osimhen on the team. So hopefully they can get me some points today. And I have a few players from Sassuolo later on. I don't think I have anybody from Juve. Can you believe that? I don't have any players from Juve on my fantasy
Wow.
league. So am I still a Juventino or not?
Yes, yes.
No, that's if I was a Juventino, I would have chosen my Juventus players, but I didn't. Not interested. Not interested. Um. All right. So listen. For some reason, my chat in the Streamyard is not showing. So let me do this. Let me
Yeah, me
see.
neither for some reason. But hey, Roy, I do say I want to say about fantasy. I'm looking at the person right now who's winning, and I don't want to spoil anything, but they somehow have their two Milan players are Rebic and Junior Messias. So you're telling me that they would choose Rebic and Messias over like Leao, Teo, Manyan, other players? Like that's just crazy to me. So that's just I mean it's luck, you know. Rebic scoring 2 goals. I think he's the high scorer so far, which is crazy.
Sorry, say again. I was trying to fix this
Right
issue.
now the leader of our fantasy league has he's got Rebic and Messias from Milan,
Oh
and you
no
can only
way.
have two Milan players, and the fact that he has Rebic starting is just crazy in my opinion. How
Gotcha,
can you
gotcha.
choose Rebic?
All right, so listen, I'm gonna read the chats from my phone because anyway, guys, I want to say hello to everybody. If you have not, smash that like button. Today, for some reason, the StreamYard is not showing us the chats, so I'll just read them from the phone. We got lots of people. We got a lot of the mods here. We got Hussein, the Bayern Munich
Hey
fan.
Roy,
What's up,
can I
Hussein?
say one thing to Hussein? Hussein, because I don't know how to contact you off of our lives, just can you put down like a social media handle of yours so I can get your social media and be in contact? Because I want to talk to you about some general football stuff, and also hope you can come back on an open live soon if we have one, because we had one yesterday. But yeah, good to see you again.
Nice. We've Christian Ola, Christian Skillard with his Forza Krunic, Forza Salicap, Forza Loan with option, Forza Brokebird, Forza Cardinale, Forza Salamakers. Salamakers almost had a crazy goal. You remember that volley he had? That it was a cross that
Yeah.
came from. Where did it come from? Dell,
Uh,
I think.
Yeah, I think maybe or Ketel. No, no, no. I think it was a vertical pass, sort of, and it was like a through ball, and it opened him up on the right, and then he one touch like just volleyed it into the side netting. But I think Origi was also running in, so he could have maybe tried to square that, but it's difficult to control that in the air. So it was a good attempt.
Yeah, yeah. No, I thought he had a decent game coming in. From the bench, I thought he won a few challenges and he brought the ball forward. Yeah, decent from Salamakers. Anyway, your dad is in the chat.
I was
What's
about
up?
to say that this is hilarious.
And he says if Leo Messias had a great game, Udinese could have been destroyed. He's got a point there. If Leao was the Leao full form Leao, he could have bagged in too. Messias, if he maybe was a little bit more attentive there in the final third, a little bit more dangerous, he could have bagged one. It could have ended 7-2. But listen, before we get into the articles and the segments for today and the news for today, I want to say 3 games, 4 goals, all by headers. What is going on? Something that Pioli definitely needs to address. In the last game against Udinese, both the goals we conceded were from headers, but the players that were marking the goal scorer were strikers or forwards. So in the first goal, the players that were marking the defender, I can't remember his name, Messias, Rebic, and Leao.
Beckow.
Yeah, so pretty much our attacking third was defending that player, and he was able to get them. Then Messias, didn't do so great in defending the second goal. Against Vicenza, Tomori got caught right in the beginning of the game. And then against Pergolettese, one of our defenders got caught there. So something Pioli definitely needs to address. Something he definitely needs to do something about that. And that's not something that it's you got to be desperate about. That's just something you work on the training, and you make sure that the attackers, in particular, when defending corners, they're positioned in the right place and they do the right things. It's not that we can't do it. It's just something that we got to work on. Is that something that kind of worries you a little bit? What do you think?
Yeah, with this problem, I would say it's kind of interesting because since Pioli's been in charge, I feel like at times of the season it's been worse than others. Like every once in a while, we kind of have this streak of conceding these set piece goals, mostly with headers. So I think yes, we need to improve because you can't be conceding those goals against some other teams that that won't let you score 4 goals and win by having a better offense. Basically, we should be trying to keep clean sheets. Even though I am happy that our attack is looking, much more lively, I do want us to keep being a solid defensive team. So it's risky, and we need to kind of maybe address our zonal or man marking in those situations. But yeah, Messias kind of didn't realize that the I think defender's name is Mancini was gonna be in that perfect position to head it with a low header. So the thing is, it's not necessarily about height with those things. Even if we had Onyedicka, we could still have problems because it's also about your positional awareness and the situation itself. Because if you get, for example, on that one play when Messias was covering that defender and he scored, the ball was down to Messias's knee, and he didn't have to jump at all. He just had to kind of stand in front of him. But yeah, so it's not necessarily about height, but I think that overall it's more so about kind of the just positional awareness. So hopefully we do improve that in training.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's not about height. It's not about height at all. It's about positional, as you were saying. It's about being in front of the defender, or even just, or rather, the opposing player. Not even being in front of him, but just touching him, being close to him, making sure that he doesn't have a clean shot. Like for example, sometimes if a defender catches you, as long as you just put him a little bit off balance, just a tiny bit, just a little smudge, in order to make his shot not clean, that sometimes is just enough. But both times against the two Udinese players, they were absolutely free. They anticipated their marker by getting in front of them and just had a clean shot. I got to say that the second goal from Mazzino was beautiful. Diving header, put it where Magnan couldn't get it. So, that was a really good goal. Well done to them. All right, so let's get into it. This one is big. Are you ready, Antonio? AC Milan says no to CR7. He says no to ER7 due to his astronomical wages. According to the newspaper Corriere dello Sport, both Milan and Inter were offered Ronaldo around the end of June and early July. Both the Nerazzurri and the Rossoneri received a call from George Mendes to see if they would be interested in signing the Portuguese striker. There was a point where I thought, man, Cristiano Ronaldo needs to look for a team. He wants to play Champions League football. There's not many teams that he could go to, and Milan was always one of the teams that we spoke about. Both Milan and Inter would have been a welcome destination for the player. The paper claims above all because they would have guaranteed him the possibility of playing Champions League. However, the 24 million net per season salary, which becomes 48 essentially, that Ronaldo earns essentially killed any chances of him coming to Milan or Inter, given it would require an investment of 45 million gross. Both clubs did have and still have the plans for their attack, with Paolo Maldini focusing more on young players. They knew Cristiano Ronaldo. That's who Maldini wants. Bayern Munich, Chelsea, PSG, Atletico, and Real Madrid were also offered the chance to sign the 37-year-old, but chose not to pursue a deal. So now a return to Sporting Lisbon is what he has set on, is what could happen. Okay, right away. Let's get into this right away. I want to know what chat thinks too about Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the, of this generation, him and Messi, the two greatest players, no doubt. These guys just, you get them on your team and the whole world is watching. So there is that. That's the pro, right? The things, the negatives is that Cristiano Ronaldo, first of all, he's a player that makes too much money, and we don't have that much. We can't guarantee that much money. But the thing is that he disrupts the tactical system of teams because when you have Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, you have to play them the whole time. You sub him out, he gets pissed off, he leaves the stadium, right? Like he has, and you got to make sure to keep him happy before anybody else. So he's a disruptor of locker rooms. He's a disruptor of teams. At 37, he should not be asking all this money, even though the reason why he asks all this money is because he generates a lot of money. So if I'm Cristiano Ronaldo and I come to your team and I generate all this money for you because merchandise, because of TV rights, because of sponsors, blah blah blah, he has the right to at 37 to still be asking for all that money, but it limits his football choices. I think it's a good thing that Cristiano Ronaldo at this point is not coming to us. He's 37. He probably has a few more years left at high level. But let's focus on getting the new Cristiano Ronaldo rather than going back to the old one. What do you think? And let me know what you guys think in chat.
Yeah, I was a bit confused by this just because I know like Sporting, it mentioned Sporting, and that's like the club where he started at, before Man U came in to get him. But Sporting is not going to be able to afford those wages either. So if he goes to Sporting and he has to settle for lower wages, I'm sure Milan could try this. Like, if we were actually interested in him, if we showed interest, we could potentially close for him. But then again, there's a reason why most clubs aren't looking at him because it just seems like it's too big of a risk and not really worth the reward. But I will say that if we had CR7, we could probably win the Champions League this year.
Damn.
Because he's just that good. Like this guy, like
Wow.
I think we can defend well with if we defend better than against with Udinese. We have a good defense. Our midfield is solid. We have the players around him in Leao, Ketelaere, Adli, and the right wing's a little bit weaker, but Macias can be a solid player. And I think and even Rebic there, and like we have some depth in the attack, so we'd have an attack and a player that can score against any team. So I think it'd be great.
I mean, essentially, he'd be a center forward in our team, so he won't be in the way of Leao. He won't be in the way of the youngsters, right? He'd pretty much be in the way of Origi, Giroud, and Ibra or something like that. But let's see what you guys say in chat about it. If we need defenders, let's see. We have Lau. He is already the new CR7, as he says. Disgraceful way he has acted with a club he supposedly loves. Yeah, he's been Manchester United going through a really poor season right now. It lost against two of the relegation teams, I believe. Lost 4-0.
No. They're not relegation teams. They're like mid-table, like they're like
Mid-table
low
teams.
mid-table.
Yeah. But they're going to be fighting to stay in the.
Well, one of them is maybe in Brentford, but like they're both like strong teams. I think those teams are very competitive, honestly. But yes, they shouldn't. But they shouldn't be on paper. They're much worse than United, so United should be beating them comfortably. But they're playing very, very poorly.
All
They're
right.
getting battered.
Nonso says he's not needed in Milan. Paul says we can't afford CR7. I see Pioli can handle CR7 in the right way, according to Aziz. Give me Ibra over Ronaldo any day, Carlo Moretti. I think I agree with that. I would rather have Ibra with his mind that he has now, where he's more like a father figure, where he's more like a leader for the locker room, and he is content by playing his football not on the pitch, but playing his football in the locker room. And Cristiano Ronaldo is not there yet. Cristiano Ronaldo, he wants the spotlight. He wants to be on the field, and it is what it is. I mean, how is it possible that Manchester United is losing these games against these smaller teams when they have Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch? So it doesn't mean that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to solve your problems. That's right. That's right there. That's why when you said if we have Cristiano Ronaldo, we're winning the Champions League. I'm not so sure about that. I'll be honest. I mean, if the team performs, sure. I don't know if Cristiano Ronaldo has it today in him to do that, to push us right away to win the Champions League. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Anyway, any last words on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of exaggerating, but I think he'll be like the missing piece for us to do really, really good things. I don't know. I just think sometimes we're missing that X factor on the pitch. Like we had Ibra when he was really fit, he could do anything, like score a bunch of like crazy goals and always kind of rally the team. Now it'd just be good to have him, but it's fine. We don't need him, and it's honestly probably worse for us in the future. And we're just building something very, very sustainable, so it doesn't really fit our project, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get the new Ronaldo. But Skillert says trade CR7 for Krunic. I wouldn't trade CR7 for Krunic. Do you know that?
Yeah, this is where I disagree with you, and like I don't know, I don't think you're serious sometimes, bro.
I literally would not trade Krunic with anybody just because I enjoy Skillet. Skillet's banter. If we didn't have Krunic, what would Skillet be saying, guys? Come on. So we definitely need Krunic in the team. All right, so let's move on to the next segment. Let's talk a little bit about renewals. Interesting article about renewals came out. So since we do have a few players that, Milan is wanting to renew. So these are the players. Tomori, of course, he extended his contract and he just signed the other day. So big up to Tomori, marrying the red and black colors, and he wants to become a stable player in AC Milan. Milan Believer will soon be followed by Sandro Tonali renewal. Sandro Tonali, player that was linked to Arsenal, so the media has been talking about him. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, but the media has been talking about him. Sandro Tonali, devout Milanista. Of course, he's going to stay with Milan as long as he can, and he definitely deserves a retouch of the contract after sacrificing part of his wages. Renewal of Rade Krunic. So I'm sorry, Skillard, but we're not going to be replacing Krunic with CR7. It looks like Rade Krunic is going to get his renewal. Well deserved, I believe. Well deserved. A player that has been performing very well. And of course, Pierre Kalulu. Maybe the greatest piece of business I've ever seen AC Milan do in the history of his club. Maybe the greatest piece of business I've ever seen Milan do in the history of this club, at least in the past 20 years. I do not remember us getting a player for 500K, and now he's worth 20, 30 million. But anyway, so his renewal, they're looking to get his. Hopefully they do renew. Hopefully they do renew. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't take too long. I don't know. But then, okay, there's the two big guns, Benacer and of course Leao. Then there's the situation of Isma Benacer, who after having reached an agreement on a salary of 3.2, 3.5 net per season at the beginning of the year, asked time and for more money, the same as Theo Hernandez. And this is a good question to ask. I want to ask you, Antonio. I want to ask the chat. Is Benacer that level? Is he the guy that we want to bank on as far as the midfield? Because he wants to be one of the top earners. He wants to be one of the most important players. That's how he wants to be considered. And I think he kind of has a right to do that, especially with the departure of Kessie. Now he is going to be that main guy, him and Tonali. But he is not the age of Tonali. He is a little bit older than Tonali. So there's part of me that says he is right in asking for what Theo is getting. And I think he kind of deserves it. And I think I would slap that 100 million clause on him. And so if someone wants to get him, 100 million. But Benacer, as we saw against Udinese, is a freaking great player. And he's going to grow and grow. And let's try and keep him for as long as we can. I say yes. I say yes to him wanting what Theo gets. What do you think? And tell me what you guys think in chat.
Yeah, it's a tough question because, with Benacer, I think there's definitely a clear level in quality that he has, and I think him and Tonali there's like some space between them and the rest of our midfielders on the bench. So Benacer now, he's one of our best midfielders. It's hard to find those pivot midfield players that really work, and so if we did sell him, it's how can we get a good replacement that is going to be consistent and really kind of slot in and grow, and just reaffirm our quality in that position. It's kind of hard to do that. So I like the idea of keeping Benacer. I just think that, if we do, I think we need to definitely still bring in some competition and some players that can play in that role, like that are younger, just to keep everyone on their toes. But yeah, I think it makes sense to me why increasing his wages is the right thing to do. So I would have to agree with you overall. Like I think he definitely has proven that he can be a great player. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, yeah. So in chat they're saying Benacer didn't ask for 10 million. Like you see, it's 4.5. 4.5 Benacer is considered cheap. Yeah, it is kind of cheap if you look at the Diallo, the defender that is playing for PSG, that is not playing. He's sitting on the bench. Is making what, almost 6 million. So absolutely. He's been good so far. Kaká's the last one. We signed him for less. This is about the Kalul. Benacer is definitely well worth it. Mustafa says if we offered 5 to Kessie, I think Benacer is even worth more, according to Mustafa. So yeah, giving him 4 million plus bonuses, I think it's doable. I think we should do it. And honestly, guys, at this point, we have what 2 weeks left till the end of the mercato. We should already sold him. If we are going to sell him, we should already sold him this session, because now we cannot sell Benacer and then just put someone in, bring in Fofana, and what? It's too late now. It's too late. So if we were going to sell him, we should have already sold him, and we already should have had that money, because then we have to rebuild the whole midfield. It's too late for that. So let's see what Redbird does. Let's see what happens with this contract renewal. Okay, then Milan will try in every way to find an agreement with Rafa Leao to keep him at the club for a long time. The 150 million clause could be one of the points on which the negotiations with George Mendes will focus, because removing it would be very advantageous for the Rossoneri. Really? But Mendes is not easy to deal with. Why would it be advantageous for the Rossoneri? I don't understand that. Antonio?
Wait, what? Which was the Say that
So,
again.
150 million clause could be one of the points on which the negotiations with George Mendes will focus, because removing it would be very advantageous for the Rossoneri. I don't think that is correct. I think we need to keep a big clause on his
Yeah,
contract.
I think it's saying it could mean two things. Number one, it could stop anyone from coming in and buying him, but then again, I think it's unlikely that does happen for that much money. And number two, maybe it's to open the possibility for us to sell him for maybe a little bit lower and to be. I don't know. It's yeah, kind of a weird statement.
We got a super chat by Alexander Banyak. Thank you. Really appreciate you. He says, "Hi guys, I'm new here. Love your long discussions. Really appreciate you, Alexander Banyak. Welcome to the RossonARI TV family. Um, enjoy. We definitely appreciate your presence here. Okay, so yeah, hopefully we can renew Leao as well, because Leao is basically, the diamond of the team, and if you want to go far as a football club, you need to keep your diamonds. You need to, at least keep your diamonds. At least keep him until he's 27. And if he wants to go to Real Madrid, like Shevchenko did, like Kaká wanted, then sure, whatever. But let's try and get most of them from now up until he's 27, and let's try and win some Champions Leagues and some more Scudettis with him. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. Let me know what you guys think in chat about the whole Leao ordeal. Yeah, Cena says, yeah, put 500 million clause, 150 is cheap. I mean, if Kessie has a 500 million clause and Gavi has a billion, what is it? A billion, or Pedri, whatever his name is, a billion, then Leao should be up there too. But anyway, that is the situation with the renewals. I guess we will be attacking that discussion later on. Guys, if you have not, what are you waiting for? Smash that like button. What are you waiting for, guys? If you have not smashed that like button, it's probably because deep down inside you like Inter. Okay? But if you do like that smash that if you do smash that like button, it's because you are a true Milanista doc. A true Milanista in the heart. So let's see how many smashing of the likings we're going to get. Roy, is Belotti so fallen off the radar that the season has started and he's not found a club yet? I don't know what's going on with Belotti. I think Belotti is trying to wait for the perfect team to join. He's probably going to wait till the end. He's probably going to wait to see if he can get in one of the bigger teams in Italy. and if not, he's probably going to choose, a lesser destination at the end of the market. It is unfortunately, Belotti's story is very unfortunate. I gotta say, it is very unfortunate what happened to him. Anyway, speaking of midfielders that could replace Kessie, could go there, or eventually replace Benacer, is Fofana. Fofana back in the news, huh? Look at this. Il Giornale. According to what Il Giornale reported this morning, Fofana is still being in the crosshairs of the Rossoneri management to bolster the midfield, given that Kessie is gone. The Frenchman is a player that Milan have followed for some time, having been linked in previous transfer windows. One of the advantages of a move for Fofana, in addition to him being reliable from a physical point of view and having imposing physical characteristics, is that the player already knows the Italian league. However, there have also been reports of competition from the Premier League, plus an asking price of 47 million. Okay, so Il Giornale and in some other outlets have been talking about Fofana. Honestly, when we analyzed Fofana's stat card on SofaScore, he looked like the best replacement we could see. Maybe even better than Sanchez, player to player. But 45 million, unless we sell a player, unless we end up selling Benacer, we cannot get this player. So I think this player only comes if we sell Benacer. What do you think, Antonio?
Yeah, you're correct. We don't have the money for this operation, even though I wish we did. Like, he's a great player, but we don't have the funds to bring him in. We're not going to spend 25 million on him because we don't have, like, with our budget right now, it's so limited, and I think we're even having trouble finalizing a deal for maybe like a Onyedika who's worth around 10 million or less. So we still have to kind of see how much we have exactly. It's kind of a mess, but let's not get our hopes up.
Yeah, this one here is definitely one of those links that I'm not holding to the fire so much. It pops in, pops out. Just a good topic of discussion, nothing else. Yeah, we're definitely not going to see this player with us unless we make a big sale. That is for sure. But this is a great segue into the next player, which these reports are very interesting, and they come from sempremilan.it in Italian. According to Corriere dello Sport, il Milan ha in mano un accordo di massima per l'acquisto di Onyedika. So this means that Milan has agreed with the club for the purchase of Onyedika. Midland, I don't know how to say that. Midland is asking is 7 million, and according to Corriere dello Sport, Maldini Massara have said yes to that 7 million, and it looks like in a few days they could become a closing, according to Corriere dello Sport. This could be breaking news, guys. This could be breaking news. Let's see. We did speculate the other day that this is most likely the player that we're going to get. Again, we don't need Fabrizio Romano when you got Milan news. We did say that this player was most likely the player that Milan was going to get, and it looks like 7 million, and in a few days this operation could be closed. What do you make out of this?
Yeah, I think Onyedika is the most likely midfield target we're looking at just because of his profile. I mean, he's pretty defensive. He's good at pressing. He's he's young, 21 years old, and he's affordable. That's the biggest thing. He's, I think, only around 7 million to close. So we should be able to close for him. Hopefully, if we don't have 7 million to secure a midfielder, it's going to be a problem. But he definitely is a prospect, and he can grow so much. He definitely has a lot of developing to still do. But if you watch him play, he looks like he's very, very active. He's good at keeping the ball, and most importantly, he's aggressive. So I think he's a good target, and with what we can afford, he's one of the better players. So hopefully we can get him or just someone to come in soon, because we have to start developing these players now, get them used to the league, and get them in training because the season just started. So not much time left before the end of the Mercato.
Yeah, if I were to put my money on it, if I was a betting man, I would bet on this operation to happen in the next few days. And this could be, I mean, we saw in the highlights, he looked really good. Like he looked really good as a defensive midfielder, as someone that can come in and disrupt the opposing team play. Like one thing that you realize you looked at when you watch his highlights, one of the traits that he has is that high press because we love the high press as a team. This operation here not only makes sense from a financial standpoint, but it makes sense from a tactical point. This operation could turn out to become another one of those great operations Maldini and Masara have been doing. Getting a player for fairly cheap and then putting this player in a functional system where he performs at high levels, and then in a few years, when he becomes 23, his price is going to go up to 50 million. It could be possible with this one too. So, guys, I think this is going to be the new midfielder that we're going to be getting. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if this Corriere dello Sport article is right too, or it's total BS. We'll find out. We will find out. Okay, another player that has been very closely linked to AC Milan is Diallo. And this is what the article says. Il PSG non lo utilizza. PSG is not using him. Milan prepara il blitz. Milan is preparing to get him. Okay, so it says Milan and Masada are preparing to get the player, but they have to figure out what to do with Gabbia first with Sampdoria. The Okay, so the operation is going to be a loan with. How do you say this in Italian? In English?
Uh, Prestito
Obligation.
on a wait.
Pre-
Option to buy. Option to buy.
Option to buy, right? Option to buy, which is perfect for AC Milan. That's what they want. It's the perfect operation for Milan, an option to buy situation. So, if again, guys, if I were to put, if I was a better man, I would say Diallo and Onyedika are the two players that are going to be joining AC Milan. And this guy here, this is my prediction. Are you ready for this prediction?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you ready for this big prediction, guys? I'm about to give you a crystal ball prediction. AC Milan is going to get this player, Diallo, and obviously PSG is going to help with his wages. But the big operation is going to happen in January with Indica. Paolo Maldini, in his phone call with Indica, told him, "Listen, if you stay at the club, we're going to come for you, and we're going to sign you in January." You know, like Paolo Maldini gave him his word. That's what I think, guys. This is just me and my imaginary crystal ball in front of me. So we're going to get Diallo to complete the defense right now in this operation, which is just to get Diallo get his time on the field. But I don't know if we're going to eventually get Diallo unless he wants to readjust his wages. But essentially, this leads towards Indica in January. According to the reports that we have been seeing, Indica is staying in his team until the end of his contract, and then he's going to be leaving for free, according to the latest reports. So this is my crystal ball speculation. What do you think?
I hope you're right, Roy. I hope you're right. I mean, it's some speculation, but honestly, I think we're going to go for Ndika at the very end of this transfer market and see if it's possible. Because I think we're holding off on our signings just to see what happens, even like maybe Ziyech as well. But I think he's our top transfer target in terms of like the quality of the player. I think we'd all agree he's just the best defender we're linked with. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to bring him in, but he will be free in January for to sign him, for next season, obviously on a pre-contract. But I don't know because other clubs are also going to probably go after him. So I mean, so many clubs need a good defender, like United, Juventus, maybe these clubs. So I don't know. There's going to be competition for sure. So it's difficult.
Yeah, the one thing that maybe Milan has the advantage over is the fact that Paolo Maldini spoke to the player in person, and we've seen, especially with defenders, when Paolo Maldini speaks to you, these defenders kind of get captivated. Paolo Maldini is not just a legend of Milan; he's a legend of the game. So there's always that Paolo Maldini power, right? That can convince the player to say no to the other teams. But Juventus is not a team that is looking for a player, an upcoming player like Indica. Juventus is more of a team that is going to go for a Pau Torres, these kind of players. That they don't mind spending a lot of money. Manchester United, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they could be an issue, Manchester United for sure. But Manchester United is a mess. It's a mess. If Indica chooses Manchester United over Milan, then I think Indica should have never been a Milan player in that case. It would be a great transfer for him. But let's see what happens. No news about Ziyech. So last we heard about Ziyech is that Milan has pulled out of a race for Ziyech, and now that CDK has joined, there's not going to be anything for Ziyech. Maybe the last days. The last days. Do you think the last days? What do you say? Yes or no?
I can't tell you if it's gonna happen or not. Sorry, just my mic cut out. But yeah, I think if it were to happen, it'd be in the last days. Like we try to make a push for him. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey Roy, also a reminder that Napoli is on right now in case you guys want to watch as well. Interesting game on.
All right, Vicha, give me some points in Fantasy League, Vicha. Guys, and if you are members of the channel, if you are members of the Curva Sud, the RossonARI TV, the competition has started. Submit your cards in, go to the member community post, and check out the video, the rules for the competition. We already have a few cards that have been submitted. We're going to start counting those points after the sixth game against Sampdoria, but we already have a few contestants that put in their cards in. So if you are a member, put your card in. Let's get as many people as possible, and let's see who has the best mind, who has the best prediction abilities, according to the information you have. So now, speaking about youngsters and players that could become potential superstars, freaking Vincenza's Tommaso Mancini chooses Juventus over Milan and Roma. La Gazzetta dello Sport reveals that a potential move to Milan looked on the cards but fell apart, and that Roma seemed to be the closest club to buying the Vicenza teenager, but now it is Juve who are tipped to win the race. Mancini initially preferred the idea of joining the Rossoneri over the Bianconeri, but in the last few days something has changed. Juve fought hard to sign the 18-year-old by working with his entourage, and now he has changed his mind. An agreement now seems close, both between the clubs and between the player and Juve. The Bianconeri have satisfied the request of Tommaso Mancini on personal terms, with the player represented by his parents, and such a closure should occur soon. This one pisses me off. I am livid. I am livid. And I know exactly what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened. Because the parents are the ones that deal with the player, they probably wanted like jobs or salaries or stuff like that. Usually these clubs do that, right? The clubs will give like the father of the player a job or something like that, whatever. And I'm sure Juventus, that's what they did. The Juventus did not sign the child. The Juventus signed the parents, and this is how they got him. I think that's where Milan didn't want anything to do with it. They just wanted to sign the player. They probably because a few days ago there was a report saying that the dad had all these demands and requests, and the dad did not want to go for Milan. So essentially, the player is not going to do what he wants. I don't know what he wants, but the player is going to go to Juve because Juve is satisfying the demands of the parents for the parents, not even for the child. I mean, what are you going to do at Juve as a team? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. This should have been an operation that I feel bad because this player is probably going to become a great player, but he should have become a great player with AC Milan, not with Juve. Not with Juve, with AC Milan. With Juve, also the situation of that club and the way they're managing young strikers, like why even go to Juventus when Juventus does not give a crap about young strikers? Juventus wants Di Maria, they'll get the 75 million guy Vlahovic, they'll get the 60 million guy Chiesa, they'll get these players that have already arrived. They're not going to develop a young striker and then put him in the team. Juventus is not going to do that. So the parents fucked up. They fucked up. They got greedy. And they potentially just altered, maybe even destroyed the career of their young son because of their greediness. I don't know. What do you think about this situation, Antonio? This one pisses me off.
Yeah, it's annoying because Juventus always get their hands on the Italian prospects. I think with Mancini, he's I don't know. It's difficult to say because even at Milan, like even though we do prioritize youth, our forwards are not really from the Primavera either, and so he'd be starting the Primavera. We have Lazetic, who hasn't really gotten much game time. Um, so I mean, I think it's hard for people just to, in general, break into the first team from the Primaveras of these top clubs. So I don't know. It would have been difficult even at Milan, but yeah, he would have been a good option for us to have. For if he was really that good, he would have broken out. So it is unfortunate, but hopefully we get another Italian player to kind of keep looking after these top youth prospects. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, and as a matter of fact, Nonso here says they even signed Caio Jorge, and he is pretty much discarded. We got it. Somebody, Roy, you please the parents, you please the child too, and their primavera is much better than us. I mean, I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. Milan did not want to go that route, but it is what it is, and so in this case, Milan has set their eyes on another player, interesting player, Danish kid called Oliver Ross. So let's see what happens with this one. He had a pretty good Euro 17, this Oliver Ross kid. Let's see if I can find him here. Milan ready second offer for Aalborg striker who is flattered by interest. According to the latest from Daniele Longo, who has been okay this summer, Milan submitted an offer for the 17-year-old forward that was not accepted by the Danish side. However, a new bid is being riddled. Ross has made 4 appearances in the Superliga so far this season for a total of 99 minutes, showing how much faith Aalborg have in him. Details regarding the amount of the first offer and the imminent second one were not disclosed. The news regarding Milan's interest has already spread to Denmark as TV3 Sport asked the player about the links with a move to Milan, with the teenager admitting that he is flattered to learn that the Rossoneri are following his progress. It is good to be mentioned in relation to a club the size of Milan. It is a world-famous club, so I naturally take it as a pat on the back. This is not the first time there is a foreign interest in me, but this was probably a little bit more important than what I've heard about before. So there you go. It looks like now that Milan has lost Mancini, they're going to go in for this kid here, Danish kid Ross, because the Primavera lost Nasti, right? Well, lost. Nasti graduated and he got sent on loan to Cosenza. So now the Milan Primavera needs a striker, a really good striker. Tommaso Mancini was supposed to be that striker, but it's not happening anymore. We're going to see if they can make this one happen. Do you know anything about this kid, Antonio?
I don't. And Roy, just check private chat 1 second. But yeah. So I do remember hearing about him when the U17s were happening, and I don't really. I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch many of those actual games, but I will say that he was a player that I have heard, his name of. So I think that honestly, let's just take as many risks as we can with these young players because they're not going to be too expensive, and they could have a lot of upside. So it would make sense, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the Monday, as far as the youngsters, starts off on a negative note, but the seniors kicking ass and taking numbers. Kicking ass and taking numbers. All right, speaking of seniors, and since we were talking about the midfield earlier, look at this. Mr. Bakayoko, the guy who had the best celebration, the Scudetto celebration, might be leaving the club, which opens the door for Onyedika. My opinion, crystal ball, you don't need Fabrizio Romano. Milan News is what you need. Development expected soon as Nottingham Forest resume talks over Milan loanee. Bakayoko is no longer in Stefano Pioli's plans, having barely been used even in the preseason rotations. And it seems that his days with the club are numbered even if he's halfway through a 2-year loan. The idea of a move to Forest is something that Bakayoko has already approved, and more news is expected during the week. After further talks between the two clubs, it is not yet clear whether it will be a new loan or a permanent deal. But essentially, Milan is not it's not really Milan's business. It's going to be Chelsea's business because he's owned by Chelsea. So Milan is in the talks with Chelsea to make this happen. Yeah, it looks like Bakayoko is on his way out. Onyedika on his way in, guys. This is what it looks like. Let's see if this is true or not. Maybe we're going to get a curveball and it's a total different player and Bakayoko stays. But again, if you want to put your money on what is realistic based on the situation of the club, the financial situation of the club, the way we're the patterns that we are seeing and that out of which we can evaluate things from Onyedika in, Bakayoko out. Antonio, what do you think about this story?
Yeah, honestly, like it just makes sense. Nottingham Forest in the Prem are looking at him, and they definitely see value in him. And while on the other hand, we aren't really using him at all right now, and he's just kind of occupying a spot on the roster. But when he comes in, he doesn't really show that he has some quality to provide off the bench anymore. And for some reason, he just looks a little bit out of it. I think he's a bit too complacent. So I'd just go for someone who's more eager to prove himself in Onyedika, someone who has that potential. So I think it's just the right thing to do if you're Milan right now.
Okay, and now let's go to the segment after which the stream is called, which is this new message Pioli has had printed inside the Milan's dressing room, and I love it. I love it. Be a warrior, not a warrior. Hello, you know who I'm talking to. A lot of people that follow us, a lot of people in our WhatsApp group. Listen to what Pioli is saying. Be a warrior, not a warrior. Grande Pioli. Vai così. This is, man, big points, big points. This is the kind of attitude that I want. And this is why I don't care about signings. Because if you have the right mentality, you don't need to get, I mean, of course, if we had more money, it would be different. But as long as we have that mentality, we are good. And as long as we have the right mental approach, and also we look great. We look great on the pitch. There's no doubt about that. We look great. But with that mentality, be a warrior, not a warrior. That is what I like to hear. Antonio, who do you think I'm talking about? Who are the
Me.
who are the warriors? Warriors.
Warriors. That's interesting. Definitely you, Roy.
No, I'm
Uh,
a warrior for sure. I'm a gladiator,
in
100%.
terms of fans that are just always like confident, one hundred
Who?
percent.
No, yeah, I'm talking about warriors, not warrior. It's the same word. WORRIER.
Yeah, me.
Oh yeah, you
Well, no,
really
because I'm realistic.
you put yourself in that. What?
Well, I will say that
Hold
like
on. What? You're realistic?
yeah, like yeah, I'm not gonna say that we're gonna win the Champions
So
League or
I'm
like
not
any of
by
this.
being a warrior myself. I'm not. I mean, I'm not a. I'm a gladiator, so I'm not realistic because I'm a
Well,
gladiator.
there's a difference. You can sometimes be a little overconfident. I will say. I'm gonna say that like overconfidence comes with being a warrior, because you have to be confident. But in terms of like, I have a warrior mentality. Like I would say, when it's like the day of the match and we're playing against any team, I think if Milan plays against any team, I think we can beat them. Then after you watch the game, you know, if you get crushed, you get crushed. But it's kind of the weeks before when on paper I look at a team and I think, okay, realistically, we shouldn't expect to win. So that's kind of my like my rationale. So I can be a little bit of a both sometimes.
Well, listen. Okay, I respect that. Paul says mention their names, Roy. I don't need to mention their names. You know who you are. Do what Pioli is saying, guys. Do what Pioli is saying, but it's fine. Luigi Timpano, come stiamo, ragazzo? Milanista Doc. He asks, hi guys, do you think that since Brahim is not our player and Milan has invested in CDK, the managers will force Pioli on making CDK play more? Great question. Great question. I think that this. Okay, this is just my speculation right now, and then I want to hear what Antonio thinks too. I think that this team is not so much worried about contracts and that kind of situation. This team is more worried about the footballing aspect, the technical, tactical aspect, and having informed Brahim and an informed CDK is good for Pioli. That's what Pioli needs. He wants to have a Brahim that is firing on all cylinders, and he wants to have a CDK firing on all cylinders. So using them in a correct manner according to the game is probably what Pioli is going to do. But there is a chance that because, and also, guys, remember that Brahim Diaz, if Brahim Diaz performs this year, and he pretty much becomes like a new signing. I mean, the guy was involved in all 4 goals against Udinese. And let me freaking remind you, that Brahim Diaz is this little guy that everybody says, oh, Brahim Diaz is too small, he's too light, blah, blah, blah. But Udinese is the heaviest, tallest, and biggest team statistically in Serie A. Do we understand this? Udinese is the tallest team, the heaviest team, and the biggest team as far as size and height and all of that. So Brahim Diaz, the little guy, was able to contribute 4 goals against the biggest team. So it's really not about, okay, he's developing physically because, I mean, he's 23 going into 24. Physiology. It's human nature. Okay? Eventually, one day, Brahim Diaz is going to have gray hair. Right now, he's 23 going into 24. Now he's going to grow his muscles. He's going to bulk up. Physiology, but also the mental aspect. His experience in the game. And also, maybe the way he's being used. Pioli is starting to figure out better ways to use him. If Brahim Diaz has a great season this year, why should he go back to Madrid? He cost only, what, 20-something million? Let's get him. Let's add him to the team. If this guy contributes goals and goals and goals and he makes us win games, let's have CDK and Brahim Diaz, right? We had Rui Costa and Kaká. Brahim Diaz and CDK. We can have both of them firing at all cylinders. So, to answer that question, Luigi, I don't think that they're going to put Brahim Diaz to the side. I think they're going to try, because we need to compete on all fronts, Champions League, of course, Scudetto, and Coppa Italia. It is in Pioli's interest to make sure that both of them get the right amount of playing time and both of them fired at all cylinders. So that is what I think. Antonio, what do you think about this situation?
Yeah, I think Diaz. So he's not like, because in football it's not like basketball or other like sports where you have to be necessarily like one type of body, physical like build. Let's say you can be like the best players have been small. They've looked to be like weaker than other players, but because they've had technical ability, they've been able to be very successful. So I think I'm not concerned about that with Diaz. For me, it's just more of like his decision making and his like I think his playmaking ability needs to improve. That's why I was concerned last season. So if he can improve that, then for sure he'll be a great player. It's just a matter of can he make that next step, and he looks to be on point right now. So hopefully he can keep that up. But also he is now he's a Real Madrid player, so I'd prefer maybe CDK to start more. It depends. At this point, though, if whoever is playing better, honestly, we need to win trophies. So let's just put the best player in.
Yeah, but CDK should be a very useful player. He looked pretty good actually when he came on, right? He looks very, like Pioli said, elegant, classy. He looked quite confident. Guys, Verona
Goal
just
for
scored.
Verona. I'm a little bit
Verona,
behind.
Verona scores against
Kevin
Napoli.
Lasagna. Kevin
Kevin
Lasagna.
Lasagna just scored against Napoli. Um, Definitely out of a corner kick, so not open play. For sure, Napoli has been deserving the lead. But there you go, Verona with the first goal. Okay, so let's go to chat a little bit, guys. Today, for some reason, the StreamYard chat is not working. That's why we haven't been highlighting your chats. But so I'm just going to read them off the magic box here. Napoli have been dominating though. Yeah. Okay, Paul says because he wants to Roy, he wants Madrid and not Milan. Let's see. Let's see. You might be right about that, Paul KB. You might be right about that. He has taken the Madrid thing out of his Instagram because remember how last year he had player of Madrid and AC Milan. This year he only has AC Milan, I think, or neither. Skillert says, "Be a goal scorer, not a balance maker. Be a Ballon d'Or winner, not Bosnian Player of the Year." That Skillert obsession with Krunic is literally the highlight of my day, man. Oh, Vicha, Vicha, Vicha. Mamma mia, che jugador che è sto Vicha. Nice play. Vicha's kicking ass, huh? Kicking ass, taking numbers. He's probably going to get one in. He better, because
Hey
I need
guys,
him.
Roy bet his life savings on Vice Varaccellia in the Serie A. Like he made so many bets that he's really betting on his career, guys. So
Yeah,
that's why.
dude, this guy's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it. I'm concerned that this situation can affect the development of Ali badly. Good question here, man. Luigi Timpano coming in with the good topics and good questions. Ali, right? So Ali did not play, but let's remember Ali is only 21, right? And he still needs to, you know, I think your dad actually said it really well the other day that from a psychological point of view, it is important and for Milan, for Pioli to show the players that won him the Scudetto confidence. You know, don't take him out right away and then replace them with CDK, Ali, Origi, etc. Make sure that you still hold those players. You still reign over those players, and that those players feel the confidence from the coach. Ali is the new guy, so he's going to be eased into the situation. Maybe the first year we're not going to see much of Ali. Maybe he's not going to perform that much. But I think Ali is going to amalgamate and he is going to find his spot in the team, but not right away. I definitely agreed with what your dad said about that, and I think it is definitely true. So maybe we're going to see Ali against Bologna. Maybe we're going to see him a little bit against Atalanta. But Ali, again, he is 21. It was not a big operation like CDK. Ali does not have the Champions League experience. He doesn't have that kind of experience. He does not have experience of playing football for a club that is playing to win a trophy, right? He doesn't have that experience. But he will get in there. He will get in there.
Osimhen is playing pretty poor, if I have to say. Like his control is really odd. I will say, in terms of this game right now. It's kind of a random thing I just wanted to mention.
Yeah, yeah. Um, uh, Baba Fall from what flag is that? What flag is that? That is Cameroon. What's up? Nice. How you doing, sir? Um, Osimhen is so overrated. Napoli let it. So Nonso says it's just the first game. Ali will get his chances. Yeah, I think he will get his chances, and I think Ali, the way he plays, that kid is good. That kid is good. So I'm sure that when he plays, he's going to show the coach that he deserves a spot on the field. What do you think about this situation, Antonio, regarding Ali?
Yeah, I really want him to play because I mean this guy looked so good in the preseason, and the worst thing is when you just
Sorry,
you know
sorry, 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 sorry. My apologies, guys. It is Senegal, not Cameroon. Sorry, my apologies. Senegal. All right, keep on going.
the worst thing is when you just destroy the confidence of a player by not giving him any time. I don't want it to be another Hauge situation. Hauge now is actually going to play in the Belgian league on loan from off of Frankfurt, so he's being offloaded. So maybe he wasn't the best player, but maybe his confidence was rocked because I saw something decent in him. But that's another topic. But he's a great player. I don't want him to have to feel like he's not going to play. So I want him to get in the squad, and hopefully Pioli puts him in at the right moment.
Yeah, yeah. One thing about the reason why I don't think that's going to happen with him is because Hagway is pretty soft. He's a pretty soft character. He's he seemed like a guy that does not. He seems like the kind of guy that when you shake his hand, it's like a limp shake. Like no strength, right? I think that's really what hurt Hagway in Italy because you need to have a strong, firm handshake when if you want to succeed in Serie A. Ali is not that guy. Ali is definitely not that person. Ali has a lot of personality, and yeah, exactly, Luigi Timpano. He has a lot of charisma, and he's a warrior, not a warrior. And I think Hagway is more of the latter rather than the warrior. That's why he didn't really succeed. So yeah, Ali will get his time. Look at Vicha, man. Man, what a player! I can't. Paul is with the anti-Vicha agenda. Paul really wants to get destroyed from a football standpoint, huh? Paul. Paul going against one of the.
Vicha, I will say from what I've been watching, Vicha looks pretty good. It's I think he thinks that he can that taking on players is easy in the Serie A, but he's not really getting, let's say, as close to the goals he would like. But yeah, he's doing some good crosses and looks dangerous. So pretty good player.
Paul is Nathan is somewhere punching the air right now. Haga was never good enough. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the story. That's the story with Ali, guys. I'm looking forward to see him. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, and I'm looking forward to see Origi play. I'm looking forward to see more of Origi. We did see a little bit of him, but I have a question for Paul and on all the Origi hashtag 20 people in chat and in the WhatsApp group. So yesterday, and I'm hearing people say, well, Origi played in the Premier League, and that's super difficult. But then when Origi plays in the Serie A, it's going to be easy because Serie A sucks. Ooh, Osimhen almost. But Serie A it sucks, and nobody can play in the Serie A. So Origi will be really easy for him to score 700 goals in one season. Okay, but yesterday Roma played against Salernitana. For 90 minutes, Abraham played. For 90 minutes, Pellegrini played. For 80 minutes, 88 minutes, Dybala played. For 75 minutes, Zaniolo played. None of them scored against Salernitana. None of them scored against Salernitana. Okay? The guy that came from the Premier League that has more goals than Origi in one season
Uh,
didn't score against Salernitana.
Zaniolo should have had a hat trick that game. He missed some
But, okay, yeah,
sitters.
but he didn't. But he didn't. So this analysis of thinking, oh, because he came from Premier League and everything. Ole! Who scored? I'm
Vicha, Vicha.
Vicia Verascheglia, ragazzi. Vicia Verascheglia. Give me those numbers to all the haters. Laert, hello. Paul, Laert and Paul, hello. You guys were busting my balls. I'm telling you, this guy is going to come to Veseria and kick some serious ass. There's some construction, guys. He's going to come and kick some serious ass. You guys will see. You guys will see. And 1-0 for Vicha Verascheglia, 11 million. He should have been our player. He should have been our player. Okay, anyway, good for my fantasy league. Good for my fantasy league. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Origi. So Origi, I'm curious to see how Origi is going to do. I did like what I saw a little bit. Yeah, you see him doing this. People are sleeping on him. That's what he means. People are sleeping on him. Que golazo,
Jeez,
Vicha
Royce,
Verascheglia.
you're like the biggest fanboy for this guy. It's crazy.
Man, this guy's going to win like I'm telling you, this guy's going to win like 6 Ballon d'Ors in his career. 21, guys. He has scored in every single game Napoli he's played in for Napoli. He is 21. 21 comes to the Serie A from Russia, right, and kicks ass right away. People think I don't know what the. You know what pisses me off the most, Antonio?
What?
That people don't think I know what I'm talking about, and it always has to go. Okay, I have to wait months before I can prove to people. Look, I'm not saying shit out of my ass. Like I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know when I see talent. I know when I see talent. Mamma mia, ragazzi. Anyway. Anyway.
Roy, where will Napoli finish according to your predictions again?
Fifth, I think. Fifth or
Okay.
fourth.
Okay.
I think they're going to fight for fifth or fourth. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think they're going to win every game, but they are going to definitely. They are definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Also, because Napoli is the team that probably plays the most tiki-taka kind of football, so a lot of quality. But they have one of the best players in the world right now. They have one of the best players in the world.
Is he better than Leao?
You don't want to know my answer.
No,
I
I
don't
know
think.
your answer. I don't think it's a crazy answer. You can say that on a technical level, he's better.
Technical level, yeah, he's better than everybody. From a technical level, he's better than almost everybody. As far as character determination, maybe Vicha has something a little bit more. I think Vicha is a little bit more mature at 21 than when Leao was 21. Leao is up there. I think they're going to be fighting together for best player of the year. They're going to be up there. But this guy is the new. He is going to be the new Messi, the new Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to be one of these guys, and you'll see by the end of the season. Here
Roy,
comes.
I will say if you do predict this and he scores like, if he gets like 20, all right, like let's say he gets 15 to 20 goals from a left wing position. If he gets that, then I will tip my hat to you, Roy, because this guy's stats in Russia weren't crazy, but you just looked at his highlights and you were like, this guy's great. So
Well, I'm not expecting him to score 20 or something goals in Serie A his first season. I'm not. I never said that, but I'm expecting him to have a great season, and I'm expecting that you're going to have the big European teams coming in and dropping like 150, 120, 100 million for him. Man City is going to be after him. Real Madrid is going to be after him. Juventus almost freaking had him. Mamma mia, Juventus almost had him. But okay, Napoli on the attack right now. Are you excited to see Sassuolo Juve? Should be a fun game.
yeah, but there's also a good Prem game I may want to watch.
Uh,
Because
what?
I hate watching Juventus. To be honest, whenever I watch them, they always like win. So there's actually a Prem game I want to watch, but
Which one?
Liverpool against Palace.
Liverpool against Palace is more entertaining to you than Sassuolo versus Juve.
No, I watch. No, it's just that Juve is like so boring to watch, and I feel like when I watch rival teams play, they always end up winning. So
Mm. Negan says, been telling you guys about Kim Min Jae, very good defender. Okay, yeah, so we'll see how he does. All right, listen, as far as today, I don't know how many likes we got. Unfortunately, we weren't able to talk to chat as much as we can because of the situation. Well, Paul says, Roy, football logic, a guy coming from the Russia PL will outscore an experienced CL winger who is about to go into his prime. Roy just retired now, you don't know. Outscore? Who did I say he's going to outscore someone? Who did I say he's going to outscore?
wait, who?
I don't.
Vicha?
I think Paul is hearing stuff I'm not saying.
Roy, make a prediction for Vicha's goals and assists.
Probably 10 goals and 10 assists, something like that.
That's good.
Probably something like that. But yeah, he's a top player, top player, top player. All right, listen. Having said that, I think we've covered everything unless there's any new breaking news coming out.
Not that I see. There's some interesting Serie A stuff which we can talk about tomorrow, but
Yeah, guys, tomorrow we're doing a new show called the Serie A Review, which is it's not just Milan, guys. It's going to be the whole Serie A. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, and we're going to be talking about all the games. So yeah, let's see if there's any new. Let's see if there's going to be any new. Sorry, let's see if there's going to be anything new coming out in a second.
oh wow, Atalanta want to get this guy Sopi, the guy that we just played, like the right back on Udinese that we just played against. He looks like a very physically strong player.
Well, look at this, guys. The yo-yo. Exactly. So you're saying he'll outscore Origi? Oh, Origi! Come on, guys. You're comparing Vicha to Origi? Oh, mamma mia, guys. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. I don't even know what to
Bro.
say. Dude, my head is like spinning right now. Oh God. The, I'm speechless. I don't know. Anton, just take over for a second. I need to. I need to take a break from that.
Yeah, guys, it looks like Atalanta are about to get soapy, so we'll be playing them 2 weeks in a row. Um, Interesting stuff. And I'm watching the Napoli game right now. It's 1-1. Uh, Looks like it's about to be halftime. Good game. Paul broke Roy. Paul has just destroyed Roy. Now Roy is just completely gone, which is crazy. So I don't know what he's doing, but we should close soon. We should close soon. Lit talk. If we don't take advantage of the ZH situation, we are dumb. Yeah, I don't know. I would like ZH as well. Hopefully we do get him, but it's unlikely. He'd be a nice Mr. X signing. Roy, come back into the live. I don't know what you're doing, but I think you're having some fun. Um. Oh, I missed this. Missed this meme. Missed this meme that Hussein sent me. We should get InvestCorp. Yeah, that's a good idea, Skillard. We should fund. We should inject a bunch of cash into our club and help us actually afford Onyedika for 7 million. So I agree. Let me see. Did you see Seko Mata Southampton debut? Wow, we should have got him. Yeah, he was. I did watch that game. Honestly, pretty impressive. I'm happy they drew with Leeds. I wanted them to win. Lucas says, rate this guy from best to worst. Leao, Vicha, Chiesa. Well, Vicha is not proven. So I will say, based on what they've done, obviously Chiesa was big in the Euros. I don't know. Based on what I've seen, I have to say Chiesa first, Leao second, and Vicha third. But this season, obviously, Leao was above all of them. So I don't know. Non says what happened to Roy. Roy heard Paul's comment about Origi and like just quit and like had a mental breakdown randomly. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. I was not expecting this. This is not like one of those Narnia streams, it's a Milan news stream where he just vanished out of thin air. Uh, now it's a Man City. All right, Skillard, stop with this. Stop with this Man City stuff. Chiesa is going to be the difference. I think Chiesa has to be one based on all, based on what he's done. Haza, stop spoiling it. No. Okay, looks like there's a corner kick for Napoli now. 1 minute left of added time. And there could be a goal here based on what Haza says. And it is a goal. Victor Osimhen. 2-1 Napoli. I have Osimhen on my fantasy team, so good for me. Good for me.
I took the opportunity to get some water. That, whatever. Anyway, yes, fantasy, good. Vicha and Osimhen in doing good, so I should be getting some good points, I think, right? I should be getting some good points. How did Pellegrini do? He did well, yeah. Okay, guys, check this out. Sky UK, Milan resumed contacts with Chelsea for Ziyech. This came out just a few hours ago. According to Sky Sports UK, in the last few hours, there have been new contacts between Milan and Chelsea to discuss possible transfer. Although the negotiations have been interrupted in recent weeks, Milan, the hopes have never really faded, especially in light of the lack of agreement between Chelsea and Man U. Now seems to have withdrawn from the negotiation. So according to this report, Man U has withdrawn from the negotiation. The RossonARI management remains firm in the initial position. For him, Milan will not deal with formulas other than the loan with the right of redemption. So, which translated, was translated to English. So that means option to buy, right? Yeah, option to buy.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, MHM. There you go. So Ziyech still open. The Ziyech road is still open. It's still open. But we'll see what happens. Somebody made up a fake Sky account.
Wait, is he being for real?
No. But I mean, like I know why he's saying that. I mean, every day the news about Ziyech is different. So I mean, what a few days ago it was Ziyech. Milan have pulled out of the race, and now today is saying Milan is still interested. So it's going to be different. The Ziyech rumors are not going to quell up until the end of the window for sure. Also because Ziyech does want to move. That is for sure. He definitely wants to move. He's not being used at Chelsea. Milan is an option, but you'll see that the end of the week, sorry, at the end of that last week of the transfer market, he's going to have many options, not just Milan. We'll see what happens. All right. Anyway, um, let's uh, let's see what happens. Oh, okay. So I think Rohit is saying it really was a made up account. Ziyech wants money. Ziyech wants money. Pobega doesn't convince me, guys. Oh my God, we need some French young player with a physique like Kessie. Well, I mean, Pobega doesn't convince you. He only had what 10 minutes. Remember that when we played against Torino, Pobega was out muscling Kessie. Pobega was out muscling Kessie. Rohit says we're linked to Onana, Onyedika, and Diallo. Yeah, I think Onyedika and Diallo are the two players that are going to be joining Milan. Yeah, our defeat, our shaking the first game. A centre back and a CDM is a must. Alexis has no role to play in this team. He has stagnated. We need Ziyech. Damn, really harsh on Salamakers, man. Really harsh. Really harsh. All right. Anything else you want to say before we close?
Yeah, Paul. If you say that again, Roy might just pass out. So don't say it. But no, I will say that I'm excited to discuss the Serie A, and I don't know with the transfer market, we have to wait and see what actually happens. But I think Elliot, if we're gonna have some questions to answer, but Redbird better be a revelation in terms of, I guess, a different approach in terms of spending than Elliott, because this summer was just brutal for us. We were expecting so much more, but it's fine. We strengthened. We got to Ketelaere. Abdi came in, and Origi is also here. So if we can get a couple more players, that's fine. But this management, man, they're trying to work miracles with the budget, so it's tough.
Yeah. Listen, Paul, I said Origi's going to score important goals, but he's not a prolific striker. Never was, never will be. It is what it is.
Hey Roy, by the way, Toulouse in France, they drew their first game against Nice and they won this weekend, so they're doing really well, and they're relative to what their expectations are in
Good.
France.
Yeah. That says a lot about Jerry. Krunic all'inizio non riusciva a giocare nei due, ora va meglio. Comunque devi essere completo come Tonali per giocare nei due. Ma secondo me Povega ci arriverà. Ha solo bisogno di giocare, bisogno di amalgamarsi con la squadra. Una volta che si amalgama con la squadra, una volta che gli danno i minuti, vedrai che Povega sarà molto importante per il Milan. How many games did he start? Yeah, he didn't start because he wasn't good enough, my friend. Why do you think he didn't start? Because he didn't want to start? Because Klopp had other players that he thought were better than him. That's why he didn't start. Speriamo sì, speriamo sì. All right, guys. Having said that, guys, I really appreciate everybody that came today and joined the chat. Forza Milan to everybody. Smash the like button on your way out. Smash the like button on your way out. Guys, much love from RossonARI TV. Good luck on the Fantasy Serie A if you are in the Fantasy Serie A. Thank you for the super chat earlier by Alexander, new subscriber. And by the way, 30% of you are not subscribed, so subscribe. Road to 8K. Road to 8K. Morning, Roy. Thoughts on the Juve and Napoli matches? Well, Napoli kicking ass. We'll see what Juve does. Anyway, Antonio, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Roy. Love being on.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Next one. See you next time. See you tomorrow for the Serie A review. Peace out. Ciao, and much love.